Okay, let's go ahead and get started there, everybody. Welcome back to another 2 p.m. PST YouTube stream. I'm your host, Transfer Jim, and today, as you can see, we are working on, um, well, we're getting back into Pega, and we're getting back into the groove of doing Pega. Um, so, um, So today we are going to go into um, we are going to be going into the business analyst side of Pega. Okay. So for anybody that is kind of wondering, um, the system architect was our main for the longest time. Now, after doing the first two missions, I figure let me cover a little bit of the business architect because that is just a little bit more after those two missions. For anybody that is working towards your business architect, this is going to be there for you. And then we will go back to system architect and finish off getting all those modules and challenges done. So, um, so that's the plan. Now, um, just some heads up on this, because I want to make sure that everybody is, oh, you know, understandable as to what, uh, who I am and like. So I am currently working towards my certification for system architect. Okay, that's my plan. That's what I want to do. Um, because without that certification, no one's going to hire me as a Pega developer. Okay. Um, and seeing that I've already done a little bit of work of Pega, I figure I might as well, try to get that certification so that I can apply for other, entry level Pega jobs and hopefully get hired to do some work. I mean, not many other people are hiring right at the moment, so, not much I can really do about it. Um, Okay, I have no idea who you are there, Cybernova. You are going to be ignored. Sorry. But, um, like I mentioned before, I'd rather get to know people first before accepting any kind of friend requests. Go to my Discord. If you're watching right now on my stream, on my going live, if you're watching right now, go to my Discord, chat with me there. You know, but Um, I think I'm leaving friend requests to those that I get to know fairly well. So, um, but yeah. Sorry, got distracted there a little bit. Um, so um, um, who am I? Um, so working on the certification. Obviously, I still got a long ways to go. Still got a lot to think about, to work on myself. To try to get there. Okay. By no means am I an authorized training partner or an instructor for you to consider this as an instructor-led training. Okay. If you think that, then, well, you're going to have to change because I'm neither one of these. Okay. I'm not an authorized training partner. So, I don't know every little last detail to answer everybody's questions. Okay. I'm not like that. I'm not there yet. Um, that's what I would expect from an authorized training partner to be able, to get your questions and to answer them. So, um, but that's not what these videos are all about. Okay. Um, these videos, these streams are, in a sense, my method of trying to keep myself focused to get the job done. Get that end goal certification done, acquired, and I can move on from there. Um, maybe make something, afterwards. Um, but here's, I just want to state those, up front. Not an authorized training partner, not an instructor-led training. Um, there are, um, there are training sessions that you can get, you can pay for to get an instructor-led training to help you get your certification. Now, I personally have not had a Pega Academy instructor-led training. Okay, I have not had that before. I've had an authorized training partner, which sucked. As I've stated before, the majority of my peers went and did a self-study because they did not appreciate the authorized training partner. The questions that we were asking him weren't being answered, and so therefore, um, or his answers were downright wrong. So, um, so we had some issues with him um, at my last place of work, and em- you know, the other employees of the company knew that he was a problem as well, but nothing was done. And that's a problem. Okay. Uh, we find that as a problem because um, if you're if you have a bad trainer trying to train new people coming up into the business, then you're just going to have bad employees. You know, um, your bad training practices gets pushed onto the employees, and that means very inefficient work, or you're not conveying the software properly, that kind of thing. So, you should have a good trainer, someone that actually knows what they're talking about, that knows what they're doing, you know. So, um, that's why, I would not consider myself an authorized training partner. I would not be able to answer everybody's question, especially, I might be able to answer one or two, maybe, but I wouldn't necessarily consider myself an authorized training partner. You get what I'm saying? So, um, if you do go for the instructor-led training, make sure that you get your money's worth. Okay, make sure that your instructor knows everything in and out of Pega. They can answer your questions. If they can't answer it like right then and there, they will come back to you with an answer, shortly afterwards, like the next day or something like that. Okay, that's what I would expect from an instructor-led trainer. Okay, they are well versed in Pega. They would actually be able to help teach you Pega so that you will pass their certification with flying colors. And here's the thing, because because when I took the certification for 8.6 and I was seeing Pega 7 questions in 8.6, ask the instructor, ask the instructor-led training if there were any changes in keywords. Okay, because there have been. Okay, this will not only, this will not only benefit you for taking the certification because they're still using old questions there, but it will help you on the job because you're going to be working with employees that might not know about that word change. Okay, they might actually use Workbasket when that has been updated. So make sure that you ask those questions, okay? Because um, that will benefit you, not only through the certification but on the job. And that instructor better know what the heck you're talking about, okay? Or at the very least, they should head off, and they should give you those details anyway. You know, like, hey, back in Pega 7, we had this keyword. Now, we've since changed it to this keyword. So if anybody says this, they mean this. That kind of thing. So, um, oh yeah. Now, um, let's get to the dashboard here. As I've mentioned before, okay, the two missions for System Architect that we've been going through are completed. Okay, the low-code app builder and the low-code app builder extended. Okay, I have not received any updates on the exercise and the the test for the app builder extended yet, but we'll see. Obviously, as you can see, there's a number of different rules and there's different modules, challenges afterwards that they haven't like put into like another mission. You would think that by now they probably should because there's a lot of modules and challenges even afterwards. But um, we're going to be covering all these um, for 8.7. Okay. Now, but that's for System Architect. Okay. Now, when you look at it, Business Architect also starts with those first two missions. Okay, the low-code app builder and the low-code app builder extended. The Business Architect starts with those first two missions as well. So we've been able to complete those. Okay. Next two modules is the Pega Express introduction and the architecture and design during the prepare phase. And then after it's all said and done, we have the Business Architect mission test. And after that, okay, if you're feeling confident about the Business Architect certification, then try to go for that certification process. Okay. Um, let's see. So the Certified Pega Business Architect certification is 50 questions. It's an hour and 30 minutes long, and you have to score above 70% on the Business Architect certification process. Okay. Here's the percentage of the exam topics that they mention. 12% on Pega Express, 38% on case management, 15 on data and integration, 2% on security, 9% on user experience, 9% on application development, 9% on reporting, and 6% on mobility. Okay. Now, here's another thing. Okay. Um, you can take the exam at the test center. If there's one nearby, or you can take the exam via online proctored delivery. Okay. In a quiet, uninterrupted room in your home or office. Okay. And it's proctored via webcam. Okay. So you need a webcam available for them to proctor your online test. Okay. They need to see you. Okay. They need to see your room. So You need to be, at a spot at home where it is, you know, uninterrupted, and you cannot be interrupted whatsoever during the hour and 30 minutes. Okay, if you are interrupted at all, the proctor could stop the test, and you will have to retake it, which means that you may need to repay the amount to take the test. Okay, so make sure that you have you're in a bedroom, you're in an office or somewhere, okay, where you can just basically lock up the room, okay, or something, okay, and make sure that no one interrupts you during that exam. If anybody comes in, they could consider that as, you are cheating during the exam and therefore fail you on that exam, okay? It has to be uninterrupted. So, um, I think they even ask you to like completely turn off your phone as well. They have you send pictures of your working space, okay, to make sure that it's completely clear and that there isn't any means for you to, cheat. There isn't any kind of, um, you know, uh, documents or anything along those lines that, will basically show that, hey, you have the potential for cheating in this space. Okay. So make sure that you handle that properly. Okay. If you don't, um, you know, the proctor is potentially going to fail you on that test, and there goes your money that you paid into the certification process. So make sure that you are clear on that. Okay. So, and this goes for the Pega and the system architect as well. Okay. But we'll cover that as soon as we get there. Okay. I wanted to cover the certification for the Pega Business Architect, seeing that we are very close to finishing that. Okay. So let's get into the first module after our missions here, the Pega Express introduction. So, Pega Express delivery explained. Okay, so the Pega Express center out approach. The proven Pega Express delivery approach is important because it supports a center out business architecture, design resulting in software solutions your clients will love. The center out approach aligns human intelligence and process automation with business logic, beginning at the center of the business. That ensures your Pega platform software solution is consistent, seamless, and contextual, providing a great user experience across channels. The following diagram illustrates the center out approach. So, 1, you have microjourneys, cases, and strategies. 2, you have personas and channels. And 3, you have data and interfaces. So connect to all channels for consistent experience and connect back to systems and data. So center out business architecture. A center out business architecture incorporates the variations within your business, variations that extend from your channels to your systems of record. For example, you can avoid multiple versions of an address change process while operating in different countries, instead of having multiple systems that store address information differently. Pega Platform's Pega Platform's layered architecture lets you start small, deploy quick wins, and tackle immediate problems and opportunities. You can trust that what you build is scalable as your company grows in scope and size. Pega Express reuses microjourneys across the dimensions of customer type, lines of business, and geographies. Pega Express is a delivery approach. Pega Express is focused on changing the way the world delivers solutions through a microjourney. Microjourneys are business transactions that are delivered to provide immediate value. Microjourneys are designed to promote and challenge your project team to deliver meaningful client business outcomes quickly. Watch this short video to get an understanding how to deliver with Pega Express. And unfortunately, there isn't any kind of transcript. Okay, so give me a second. Let me move things around here. Turning off my music here, and let's try to see what we do.
The Pega Express methodology is summarized in the simple diagram.
You guys aren't hearing that right at the moment. Not sure why it is. Not sure why it's not going through headset audio, not desktop. Okay, let me try this way here.
And broken down into 4 phases. All of the best practices you learn about in this course
aligns
to one.
It was still able to do the headset anyway. Okay, never mind. Hold on. Rewinding.
The Pega Express methodology is summarized in the simple diagram and broken down into 4 phases. All of the best practices you learn about in this course aligns to one or more of these.
Why do we have closed captions in Deutsch? German. I mean, I would have been fine if it was English, but God damn it, man. What I'm in, well, I mean, I get it that, you know, I mean, they're speaking in English right at this moment in time, but that doesn't give, like, if someone's actually deaf, they're going to need subtitles themselves in English. So the fact that they don't have that here is kind of unfortunate. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and make a suggestion about that. Pardon me while I send out the suggestion. They apparently fixed their window, which is good. So I noticed that the captions on the video defaulted to German, which is okay, although I'm kind of surprised that you don't have English captions available. If someone is deaf, then they can't understand the video that was presented, could you allow for English captions in the future? Or at least provide a transcript of the video so that hard of hearing individuals can follow along a little. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna rewind a bit because I know that I missed some details. Captions are off, sorry folks. So let's go.
The Pega Express methodology is summarized in the simple diagram and broken down into 4 phases. All of the best practices you learn about in this course aligns to one or more of these phases. The first phase, Discover, is where you identify the priority microjourney. Choose a microjourney that addresses a priority issue, has a higher frequency of occurrence, and a fast implementation time. This establishes a quick, visible win that builds excitement about what can be accomplished with Pega. You may use design thinking activities, such as a Pega Catalyst engagement, to help identify and prioritize your microjourney. Here you capture much of the information needed to successfully size and build the application. This is known as the 3 pillars, and then make sure you are ready to start the project. With Pega 8.4 onwards, you can capture this directly in the application to facilitate rapid configuration. The project then officially starts during the prepare phase by conducting a project kickoff meeting with the entire team that settles on how the project is delivered. The team drills down further into the customer microjourney, breaking it down into sensible chunks, and ultimately creating user stories that feed the build phase. Along all this preparation work for the first build sprint, you instigate the governance structure that helps monitor the success and health of the project. Build is where the configuration and test activities take place. Pega Express methodology is agile, so building and testing take place in short, sharp bursts called sprints, with regular deployments to the next test environment.
All right.
This approach ensures that you constantly deliver, getting that rich customer feedback early on to ensure you are building the right solution. The last phase is Adopt, where you complete the traditional readiness activities, such as agent training, ensure you are ready to go live, and then monitor the performance of the system. Within Adopt, you start thinking about the next journey that forms part of the next iteration of Prepare, Build, and Adopt, allowing the cycle to begin again. You can learn more at community.pega.com. Pega follows an agile approach because legacy software development models define the scope and then derive the project duration based on the scope. Agile flips this paradigm by setting a fixed time box for the duration of each release to ensure fast time to value, and then prioritizes the functionality to build so that it fits within this time. This approach builds on the most important capabilities first, with testing completed and valuable customer feedback received throughout. So why does Pega have a methodology? Simply because Pega delivers quickly and with certainty, whether your initiative is big or small. The methodology is easy to pick up and repeat. With Pega Express, there are lots of opportunities to get a head start on your deliveries. For example, before sizing your project, Explore the benefits of using App Studio to deliver quick configuration results. App Studio is a business-friendly, role-based authoring environment that is quick and easy to learn. App Studio speeds up application development and enhances productivity to ensure that you can quickly configure the solution and show rapid results. Pega also offers strategic applications, advanced out-of-the-box solutions for common business outcomes that reduce delivery complexity and ensure your estimates are lean and accurate. The Pega Express delivery approach is designed to scale so that you can support rapid deliveries achieved in a matter of weeks, right down to more complex microjourneys, enable successful deliveries across a range of Pega products and solutions, create a foundation that can easily be adopted and repeated by small clients, large clients, and partners alike. Enjoy the course and apply the learnings to your projects to enable you to deliver quickly and achieve your business outcomes.
All right, so hmm. It almost makes me wonder if the ordering of these modules might be a little off. Because this right here sounds like it would have been like fantastic, like right at the very beginning of this entire course, especially if you're trying to, be in the business side of things. If you're, if you want to be a business analyst, then this sounds like one of those modules that should have been like one of the first ones that you got. So I don't know. Um, Unfortunately for me, because I, problem that I have is like a lot of things can go in one ear and right out the other. I just don't have that kind of retention, you know, very well um, with just downright, a person explaining everything. Um, I tend to be, I feel like I'm more someone that handles visuals better, or tactile. You know, um, just as straight auditory is not something that helps me learn. And unfortunately, the statements that the gentleman was talking about, weren't really being, um, visually seen kind of thing. Like he wasn't like showing examples. He wasn't, uh, repeating. Like there's some slides where he was repeating the words, but there are other slides where he was kind of going off on doing his own um, descriptions and alike. And unfortunately for me, that doesn't really work out very well. Um, I don't really do very well in just a lecture-based environment. So, Pega Express is a light design-focused delivery approach that uses Pega's low-code experience. I'm assuming true, because that seems pretty much, you know, a standard definition for Pega Express. We got 20 more minutes. We should be able to get through the next topic fairly quickly. So Pega Express best practices. Now, um, just to make sure here, yeah, we might not be able to get to the module quiz today. Um, with the amount of information that's here, this might be the last topic that we're going to cover for today. So just bear that in mind. So, all right, Pega Express best practices. Pega Express delivery best practices. Pega Express serves as a best practice delivery approach for your implementation. The Pega platform incorporates many elements of Pega Express best practices within the tool to deliver business outcomes faster and more consistently. The following image provides information on best practices and tools on which Pega Express is built. Pega Express best practices and principles, delivering business value with and techn- technical quality. Okay, business outcomes and value. Design business outcomes dash value. Design thinking is a human-centered approach to solving problems through creativity and collaboration, which is used throughout a project, building empathy to satisfy user needs and realize business outcomes to ensure lovable microjourneys. Directly capture objectives. DCO is the Pega Express discipline used to design solutions with clients directly in Pega to foster ongoing collaboration and feedback between IT and business stakeholders. Pega Express is based on Agile and Scrum delivering prioritized business outcomes or microjourneys in increments known as minimum lovable product (MLP) that provide our clients speed to value within 90 days or less. Once delivered, the team can focus on the next MLP. Alright, technical outcomes dash quality. Pega's low code slash no code configuration allows you to create intuitive applications using the three pillars: case types, strategies, and automations. Integrated with live data and connected channels to provide consistent experiences to your customers. Pega's DevOps Deployment Manager and Automated Test Suite enables teams to test early, often, and more efficiently than through manual testing alone, so that issues can be identified and fixed as easily as possible. Pega's Application Quality Dashboard and Predictive Diagnostic Cloud automatically monitor health of your solution and notify you of potential risk with a recommended guardrail score of 90 or above. 90 and above. Okay. Business values and business outcomes dash value. Design thinking is the mindset and approach we use to break down clients' needs into minimum level products. Design sprints are a component of Pega Express to leverage when problems are complex and not well defined. Directly capture of objectives (DCO) is the discipline used within Pega Express to make and to build the solution with our clients and foster ongoing collaboration and feedback between IT and business stakeholders. Are we just kind of reading this again? No, not quite. Slightly different wording, but I guess still similar. Pega Express is based on Agile and Scrum. It uses microjourneys to deliver increments of a minimum lovable product that provide our clients speed to value. Uh, Technical outcomes, quality. Pega Platform Low-Code Design-led Development Studios allows you to define customer microjourneys, create tailored intuitive applications to deliver business outcomes quickly. Pega Unit is Pega's automated test tool to enable teams to test early, improve quality, and track progress by monitoring production readiness through guardrail scores. Um, Pega Unit is in a sense the same as Java Unit, so same same kind of style to it. So if you're used to Java Unit, then or JUnit, you should be able to understand Pega Unit just as well. Pega Predictive Diagnostic Cloud, or PDC, is an AI-powered technology used throughout the application lifecycle to assess the health of your application and notify you of critical issues. Check the knowledge with the following interaction. Design thinking is a human-centered mindset to identify, innovate, and creatively solve problems throughout the project. Mm, is it human-centered? Yep, it is human-centered. Okay. But I don't I don't know if that's the correct. Sure, it's a human-centered mindset, but to identify, innovate, and creatively solve problems throughout the project? Um, I don't know if that's true. Well, I guess not. The reason why I'm saying that's not technically true because the design thinking is typically, the process of figuring out, what you want to kind of do prior to everything. So the idea of um, creatively solve problems tends to fall more on the, you know, like the technical side of things, I would imagine. Not necessarily design thinking, but I guess it can be that too. So, okay, whatever. I'll let it go. Okay. Pega Express frequently used terms. Pega Express delivery approach uses terms to define complex ideas and make them simple. Here are the most common. Minimum lovable product. An MLP is comprised of one or more microjourneys providing business outcomes to the client. Each MLP is a building block for organizational solutions and transformation. An MLP is different from the minimum viable product because a minimum level product delivers a solution that is not only viable but desired, and one that provides high value to the client. Journey. A journey is a series of interactions between the customer and an organization that occur as the customer pursues a specific goal. Forrester, whatever that is. I have no idea what that's referencing, but sure. A journey represents multiple related business outcomes for the customer interacting with multiple people and channels. Microjourney. A microjourney is a business transaction that results in an intermediate or final outcome. Microjourneys are the life cycles or units of work that deliver meaningful results to customers and users. Identifying the stages of a microjourney provides the team with enough structure to organize and optimize the processes needed to perform the work. DCO, or directly capture objectives. Directly capture objectives, DCO, is a discipline and a way of working that is used within Pega Express. DCO, or directly captured objectives, forms a continuous cycle of collaboration, iteration, and validation between IT and business stakeholders to design and deliver applications quicker. I want to kind of keep on hitting that, directly capture objectives, directly capture objectives, directly capture objectives. DCO, directly capture objectives. Just so, you get in your brain that when you see that, you can associate those other words to that, directly capture objectives. And that might actually help you in determining like the definition as well. You know, they don't necessarily state these words, just willy nilly. It they try to have it mean something for that process kind of thing. So don't ignore that. Learn from it. So All right, DevOps. DevOps is a set of practices that bridge application development and operational behavior to reduce time to market. It allows application developers and business owners to respond to customer needs quickly, develop a faster feedback cycle, and ultimately achieve business value faster. Pega Express is software. What the hell kind of question is this? Yes? Okay. So they are basically stating that Pega Express is more of a thought line and not an actual part of the program itself. Okay. All right. I don't know. You know, so here's when I look at Pega Express, okay, um, it reminds me of other like applications that are out there. Um, because I look at um, I look at other programs, and whenever I see something express, it means typically, you have a like a shorter version of the longer version, like a speed up process or something along those lines. It is an express. You're being faster about it. Okay, or maybe it's a little bit more contained or focused to kind of get a job done. Um, you know, Here, let's see. Um, Convey a thought or feeling in words or by gestures of context. Um, Squeeze out, and that doesn't. Operating at high speed of a train or other vehicle or public transportation, making few intermediate stops and reaching its destination quickly. That's what I typically think of when I think of Express, because I've seen it quite often. So when I see Pega Express, I immediately kind of fall towards that kind of definition. Um, which obviously, um, that's um, you know, that's obviously a kind of like a burden of mine in a sense because um, it's just how my mind is working. I see the term express and I've kind of refer back to like a train express kind of thing. Something that has very few stops. It can get to one destination to another quickly. You know, so um, So to state that it is, you know, this very, um, to say that it's a best practice delivery approach, it doesn't, um, maybe I'm just having a hard time with the word express with that because, um, you know, uh, typically express, refers to speed and, trying to go with efficiency. And sometimes, um, that doesn't necessarily equate to quality. Okay. Um, because you're there went my headset. Hold on a second. Let me get the radio back on so that my headset will stay active. There we go. All right. So, that's my hang up on this. You know, um, so I'm basically going to be kind of fighting against history to understand what they are trying to go for Pega Express. It feels very counterintuitive on it. Um, like I would expect Pega Express to be something like a very streamlined um, version of the full Pega platform. That's what my thought line was initially. That's what Pega Express is all about. Um, it's like when you go into Pega itself, you have the App Studio, the design, the Dev Studio. Um, oh gosh, already I'm kind of forgetting parts of Pega. Um, when you go into a challenge here, let me hold on. Um, let me go into an old challenge of mine here real quick. Um, when you are looking at a um, when you're looking at the what a business analyst needs to get their job done, um, one would make the assumption that they are not going to be needing the full, like they wouldn't necessarily need a full Visual Studio, for example, or Eclipse to, you know, they don't need to be working, you know, on the code itself, right? That's typically not their function as a business analyst. Okay. Um, so um, so one would assume that you know they wouldn't necessarily need a like the large version of Pega to work with. Okay, and that's why I was thinking, Pega Express. It might be a, uh, now, um, once the instance gets generated, I'll kind of show you um, my failure on this. Okay. Um, and show you why I need to change my wave. Well, to be honest, I still think that Pega Express should still probably be changed personally. Um, I don't feel like that is an apt name for what they want to go for. But that's me, you know. Um, that's my thought line. Um, so let's see, are you all able to see the instance? Yeah, you are. Okay. So so you go into Pega, right? You want to develop in there. And when you look at um, depending on your role, um, you should, it should be designed in such a way where, you can only see so much, right? Um, depending on, what role you have, right? Um, business analysts should have, certain things that they can see. Devs should have certain things that they can see. Managers should have certain things that they can see, and that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody should be able to see everything, right? Um, well, I mean, managers probably should be able to see everything. Um, they should be able to, look at and, you know, be there to kind of back up, the devs, the business analysts, so on and so forth, right? Um, but the devs shouldn't necessarily, you know, well, I kind of look at it this way. Business analyst has a, fairly thin scope. Devs have that scope and a little bit more. Managers have that and the dev scope and a little bit more, kind of, kind of deal. Okay, and so I look at, the, um, I look at the different studios here, which obviously it's gonna take a little bit of time for it to load in. Hey, still loading. All right, come on, Pega, work with me here. What are you doing? There it goes. Okay, so they're not showing the other two studios here, but I mean, the App Studio and Dev Studio, right? The App Studio is typically one for the um, used for a business analyst. The Dev Studio is, used for the system analyst. Okay, or at least that's the thought line about it all. Okay, so um, I was figuring, or at least I thought, that this Pega Express um, is kind of like this studio here, but like another part, like a scaled down version of it. So, that they would only see the App Studio kind of thing. Um, you know, Business analysts shouldn't necessarily have access to the Dev Studio. They shouldn't necessarily see the Dev Studio. Okay, they don't necessarily need to work on the Dev Studio at all. Okay, they shouldn't have access to it. So my initial thought line was, oh, Pega Express. Okay, so seeing that it's very specific to business analyst, maybe it's talking about, hey, uh, you know, the Pega environment in a very concise fashion. You know, um, at least that was my initial thought line. So apparently that's incorrect. Pega Express is something about the delivery approach, which again I don't really consider Express and quality to be um, one that really coincides with each other. Okay. Um, Normally I consider Express to fall in lines of quantity over quality. Okay. Now you could try to get quantity and quality in your product, but um, but here's the thing. Um, if if I'm not mistaken, typically you have a chart that basically says, okay, you know, you can either, have um, quantity that goes from, low to high, but your quality can be either, high with quantities low, you know, to, you know, um, to quantities, um, you know, to quantities high to qualities low, you know. Um, I think that's typically how most people um, view, you know, um, how it is kind of thing, you know. Um, in typically any kind of process. Okay, you want high amount of quality. Well, you're probably not going to be getting a lot of quantity. You want a lot of quantity. Well, you're probably going to be losing out on a lot of quality. So, um, now obviously, you typically want a good mix between the two. Um, but normally, you depending on where it is, you might lose one over the other, right? That's it's typically how I view quantity versus quality, right? Um, and I would imagine that's same for pretty much anything, right? Um, Now you can try to get it to where um, your quantity of all these products equals the same kind of quality. You could try for that, but um, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of hardship to try to get to that point of quality. Okay, and eventually, that can be quite um, uh, that can be quite possible. Once you get to that point. Okay. Um, Technology can help out in that regards. Um, but um, you know, like think of furniture making, right? For example, now a company could have a conveyor belt that is churning out chair after chair after chair after chair, right? But would those chairs be equal to someone painstakingly hand making it? Hard to say, right? Now, that person doing the painstaking work to craft it, you know, craft it perfectly, may not actually turn out to be a quality product either. Okay, let's just say that, right? Um, but if the process is flawed on making the quantity, then you're going to be making very low quality products as well. So that's why when I see Express, you know, it doesn't convey to me the um it doesn't convey to me the idea of technical quality. That's just my mind right at this moment in time. Okay. Um and that's what I'm gonna need to fight on this because I look at Pega Express and I see, like a name for a for like App Studio. Okay, I look at it as a different name for an app for App Studio, but that's incorrect, right? I have to remove that part of my thinking. It's part of their um, you know best practice delivery approach for your implementation. Okay, it's a process to you know, to find, to design and develop the overall product. Okay. So, so that's something that I need to get through my head. You know, it is not software. All right. But that's going to be it for today's Pega video there, folks. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I want to thank everybody for watching these. Feel free to do the standard YouTube stuff of, liking, commenting, and all that jazz. It would greatly help out. Feel free to share it around and all that. Like I said, feel free to give any kind of comments or questions. If you do have any questions, I will do my best to try to answer them myself or try to find someone that can answer them for you. So don't feel like you are, um, you know, that you're not going to get anything if you ask a question. Okay. I will do my best to try to get that answered. Okay. Whether it's, contacting Pega directly or contacting, the people that I've met along the way and see what they have to say about it. So there you go. Okay. So yeah, we are going to go ahead and switch on over to um, video uploads. But let me go ahead and stop the recording now.